Welcome in, everyone, to the Challenge Aftershow. Today, Pamela and Jenna and we're back, everybody. Woo, long weekend. And we're talking about the Challenge USA Season 2, Episode 7, Give Me Liberty or Give Me Love.
Nice.
Well, so is the love between Tyler and Alyssa, and is the liberty for Tiffany? Like, what does the give me liberty or give me love like really mean? That's what I was thinking, but
I can't make sense of these episode titles. I also will be curious if anybody's even going to watch this now that we review it 7 days later.
Well, you know, we have lives, and well, no, that's not true. You two have lives. I was just waiting for y'all to be free, and that's no. I had to work on Friday, and so we couldn't do it then. And then the weekend we wanted to have our thing, and then Pam had her anniversary. Congratulations, Pam! And now we're here, so we're taking care of it now.
Well, so that title doesn't make any sense to me. I thought when you said it, it might make sense.
Yeah.
But it doesn't make any sense.
Well, someone in the comment section is going to know, but like that was my thought was I don't know. I really don't know, honestly.
Someone in the comments is going to know, you said.
Yeah.
Oh, someone that writes in the comments will know. Oh, yeah. Someone write in the comments. Okay. Right. So let's start off with this. Wes wants to talk with Michaela, and he's saying Michaela's so anti original challenger or vet or whatever, so we can start talking about why we think that is, or why she is that way, or do we agree with her being that way, or should she do this? There's also a lot of stuff online this past week about people coming to Wes's defense because the entire house was so anti-Wes and calling him a snake. And like to some degree, we brought it up on the show. Yeah, everyone was calling him a snake, and maybe they should be calling everyone a snake, not just Wes. But at the same time, it felt almost too much too. I was like, Wes, you've been on this show forever. Why are you worried about all these people? Like, who cares, man? I was a little shocked that even his wife, Amanda, didn't she like come to his defense online too against other people? And then Laurel had some stuff to say mean about Wes. I was like, what are we doing here? Yeah.
Really? I think all of it is so dramatized given what we're seeing from him. Like, he's not even doing anything that malicious. He's not doing anything that like ominous to anybody in the game. He's not even making these fucking giant moves that would warrant people talking about him so badly and so positively. It just seems like, whoa, there's other stuff going on this show, and what Wes is doing is really not that centric to have all of this kind of conversation around him. I don't know. I kind of felt the same as you, Dan, where I was like, damn, again, people are entitled to feel how they feel. And if I was somebody who was somewhat famous on a TV show, I would not be able to handle it. I am the first to admit it. I probably could not handle the negative comments and feedback. So I understand people who have his back wanting to jump to his defense. That's totally fair. But yeah, again, it's like, long are the days of the challenge when people would play more cutthroat and it would just be part of the fucking game. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like now that he's not even doing anything that crazy, but for him to be making some moves in the house, it's like causing all of this talk on social media. It's just a different time to be around.
And I'm surprised maybe the reason he cares so much is because he's like, this is nothing. How soft are we right now that we're even talking about this? Like, this is nothing compared to what I used to do, but now it's a big deal. So maybe that's why he feels like he has to defend himself so much. And even why his wife came to his defense. Because old Wes, not that there's social media back then. Yeah, I guess that's maybe why. Because he would be like, I don't care, whatever, but now it's like a bigger deal. Maybe it's because it's supposedly his last one, and he doesn't want to go out this way with like, why do all these rookies hate me so much? Like, I don't know, maybe he's having that moment of like, I've spent 17 years doing this and people hate me for it. Like, maybe that bothers him. I don't know what's going on.
Like, this is what I don't understand. I've missed the hubbub on social media about this. I just thought people were saying he was overly dramatic. I don't think people were saying like, we hate him and he's a bad person.
I don't know if hate's the right word, but Laurel came out with some pretty strong words. She kept throwing back to like the old stuff that he used to do, and it's like, well, Laurel, are people not allowed to change and
also,
be better later?
Laurel, if you're going to call out people for bad behavior in the past, lest you look in the mirror first,
that's fair too.
She was evil. Like, I was like, she is that bad person. She was not nice. I mean, like, she was
again, like, so
very mean.
Is that no one on this show is perfect. So yeah, people pulled some examples out of the archives, which are true. Like when Wes was a part of the group that was really shitty to Cara Maria on Rivals, when Laurel was her partner, people were just dogging Maria so undeservingly, like throwing soda bottles at her, dumping it on her head. So Wes was involved with that. So that was one of the examples Laurel brought out. And she's right, that was shitty, and that's true, but it happened years ago. And it just, I don't know, there's just so much, like you said, hubbub around Wes, and I'm confused as to, yeah, he had that emotional episode where he almost lost and he won, and it was awesome entertainment and great to watch, but I'm just like, why is everyone talking about this? Is really overblown.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, so that kind of brings us back to him and Michaela, because he's like, Michaela, why do you've been acting weird to me this entire season. Like, do you hate me? Do you not trust me? Like, what is, and I don't even know. Michaela just, I don't know. Michaela obviously just is looking out for herself and doesn't want to like anybody. And I don't know. Michaela always, I don't know if I like Michaela or don't like Michaela. I'm kind of on the fence with her, but I'm sure you girls have more things to say than I do about that situation.
I love Michaela. I think she doesn't trust Wes, who, as Wes said, I mean, I did put her in last week. Like, he is gunning for her. He doesn't like her either. So she's like, we don't really like each other. We don't have to have this conversation. Like, okay. Like, she was just sort of humoring him. I don't think he did anything wrong, but I think she's like, we both know that we don't really like each other. So why am I going to sit here and like, why do we need to talk about it?
Yeah, I got that too. I just feel like she's a straight shooter, and I just appreciate that about her. She's not gonna have any of these fluffy conversations. She's really here to win and play. And I think she also probably feels pissed and slighted that he left her team when the two of them together were the top people on their team in terms of.
Yeah, but she'd leave the team in a heartbeat too if she could. Like, if she got put down there and won, she'd do the same thing. So which we never really got to find out tonight. I
know. I would have liked to have seen what she would have done. But I mean, of course, now with Wes gone, it's even more reason to leave. Yes. But
if I'll defend Michaela for this one, she is right in this way where like only one guy and one girl are going to win. Now, in theory, she could be like, all right, Wes, me and you, let's try to ride this to the end. But like literally, it's only going to be like, she can't be friends with everybody because like, she has to try to make people like her and stuff so she can get far, because you can't win it on your own. You have to have alliances and whatnot. But at the same time, like, is everyone being realistic here? Like, Wes and Bananas are best buds right now. They got to turn on each other eventually. Only one guy can win. Like, and when is this going to happen? Who knows? It's going to be great. I can't wait for it. I'm so excited. But like Michaela, in that regard, like, she realizes there's only two people winning this thing. So why is she trying to be fake with people? Like, she's like, I'm done with you. You're not on my team. We don't need to talk, blah, 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 done. So.
Yeah, I also think you have to have your guard up always. So her and Wes were on the same team, and Wes is kind of saying, well, I don't know what I did to you. Why don't you like me? Why are you acting this way? And it's like kind of what you're saying, Dan. Even if people are on your team, you still have to have your guard up, and you can't just trust everybody. And she knows Wes has played this game for X amount of seasons, like we just said, and is guaranteed to turn on her. So
isn't the idea, though, that you could pretend to trust somebody, though? Like, Michaela could have been like, you're right, Wes, like, let's squash stuff. And then to the camera in a confessional, be like, yeah, I don't believe anything he says. And there's the humor in that, too, versus like straight up saying that you don't trust someone. Now, are you making Wes want to work with you in the end if he had to? Like, no, he's going to choose somebody else that thinks, that they might trust him more. Like, obviously, he knows Michaela wants nothing to do with him. So he's not going to be, she is a strong competitor, though. So if he wants to win and he has to partner with her, he might put all that aside just to have a strong competitor. It's hard to say if she's making the right moves here or not.
I don't know. Again, I think she's just a straight shooter. I think she wasn't very upfront,
mean to him. She just was like, okay, like, yeah. She just sort of.
I don't know if mean's the right word, but maybe a little bit mean, actually. Like, I don't think that he was like, oh, she's so nice to me. Like, a little bit mean.
She wasn't nice, but
I think he can suck it up and deal with it. Yeah. I don't think she was being mean at all.
I mean, she was just not interested in having the stupid conversation, I think is basically what it came down to. And it's like, what? So Wes can be like, no, I really like you, Michaela. It's like, no, you don't. Yeah, like, I think it was just like, this is pointless and I'm not going to do it. I don't think she was like
the niceties sort of thing.
Yeah, like, okay, Wes. Like, I thought it was kind of funny.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we can move
on
from there.
Her. The matter is, he does want to get rid of her, and he doesn't want her in the game either. And so it's like, again, you know this and I know this, so we don't have to have this conversation, Wes, where you pretend to care why I don't like you. I don't like you because you don't like me. Right.
Well, that is, we are seeing like a funnier version of Wes this year. And I guess the past few seasons have maybe he's grown to being more of this person who does care a little bit more about what people think. And,
I think I brought this up earlier, I think when you spend as much time doing something like Wes has 17 years on this show or whatever you want to call it, I think you do like look back and say, well, I just did this for 17 years and nobody likes me. Like, I think that can hit you a little harder.
Wes. Everybody loves Wes. I mean, the rookies don't because they're against each other.
Pamela, I'm telling you, social media was blowing up this past week about it, though, and like it was very interesting. But anyways,
all right, I'll have to look back on that. But
also with that, like one negative comment outweighs like 100 positive. You know what I mean? Like you could
that's true too.
One or two few things, and it just could make you feel like shit. So
100%. Like in our comments this past week, we had like, I think almost all good comments. Like there were so many nice things being said. And then, I don't think there's any, like not even any bad ones, but yeah, if there was a bad one in there though, we would have all hyper focused on that one and said, well, how do we get that person to like me? But I always say that it's good to have half the people hate you and half the people love you, because the people will tune in to love you because they love you, and they'll tune in to hate on you as well. So you get everyone watching us here.
Yep.
1,000 people a week. Watch out, everybody. Here we come.
Right.
But I did think
populated world.
Yeah. Wes was weird though with it. I didn't I just want to play a fair game, guys. It was like, what are you talking about? What's been happened
I'm
unfair
so happy you brought that up. I wrote that down. I wrote, Wes, this is the challenge, man. What are you talking about? A fair game. You were on our podcast, Wes. You told us that the challenge isn't fair. So I don't understand. I think he's just like, he's that butthurt about everyone coming after the vets so much. And I don't know if he feels like we've been doing this for so long, we deserve to get to be eliminated twice. I don't understand I don't get that. I don't know
what that was either. And it rubs me the wrong. So I understand people being like, shut up, Wes, about that. And again, it doesn't mean I don't love Wes, but it's like a fair game. What are you talking about? And Bananas did the same thing with his whining. Like, you guys didn't earn the spot not to be voted in because of course they're going to come after you.
They got a lot more pressure on them. The thing is, like, to stay at the top, obviously, I always say it's a lot harder to stay at the top than to build your way up. So all these rookies, they don't care. They're not worried about the pressure as much as like a Wes and a Bananas. Like, this is their livelihood in a way. Like, this is what they're known for. So to go home early, there's no denying that Wes must have felt that pressure the other week against the Dust Man. Like, there's no way he didn't feel pressure there.
I'm sure he did.
Yeah.
So anyways,
it's happened before too, where it's like they're legends and they've also gone home. Or I mean, it's like, I just like a fair game. Like, oh, someone's being unfair to you, Wes. What's wrong? Yeah, that's how I was like, what's Michaela not being fair?
I think that was his plea, like as a politician, to try to make people like him in a way, and try to make himself seem like he's one for everyone, and there's no reason to miss him, and there's no reason to not like him, guys. Like, he just wants to be there just to try to get in people's subconscious maybe and get on their good side.
It's funny because I think even Fessy was like, I mean, I don't think anybody believed Wes. Then you have Alyssa S, and she's like, what a right sweet speech. Like, like she did. She bought it.
Wreck and Roll is the name of the challenge tonight. And someone in our comment section last week wrote, hey, have you noticed that not one Survivor player has been eliminated from the game yet? And that's like Michaela's show. And then as we saw tonight, people started realizing that, and they're like, hey, we should probably try to get some of these Survivor people out versus going after Big Brother or the vets at this point. And what did you all think of Wreck and Roll? I feel like we've definitely seen this before. They're in the gerbil cages. I swear we've seen something like that before already on this show. Definitely kind of just a boring challenge for me personally watching it.
I loved it. I loved it.
Change my mind, Jenna.
No, I just really enjoyed it. I thought it was fun. It looked like they were in the Coliseum because they have these like Roman looking columns. that their tires were on. I thought it was harder than it appeared, and that they did a really good job working in teams inside of the little hamster wheel, because it is hard to get your steps in sync, so that way you're rolling the cage well. It's funny, they're hitting into each other. It just kind of like, if you were paying attention, like anarchy and chaos between the people trying to sprint to get the tires because they're flying everywhere. I thought it was hilarious. You see Michaela at one point like kick the tire.
Okay.
Tried to like punt the tire, and probably not realizing how heavy and strong a tire is, because they did her so dirty with that edit, because they like slow-moed it and showed her kicking a tire, and it moved like an inch, and it got weird. She probably stubbed her toe, and it probably hurt so bad. But I really liked the part when they were in the wheel and knocking down the tires, because doing the brain puzzle part went by really quick, and one team just dominated. So that part wasn't as good, but I thought it was funny when you were in the wheel.
As far as retrieving the tires and whatnot, I mean, you've got the blue team who has 7. Both the red and the green only have 5 members. So if the blue team didn't at least get to the puzzle first, I would have been shocked. Clearly they did, and I thought that they solidly won this one, and I was going to be surprised if they didn't, and it was definitely going to be one of those things where it's like, you guys should have probably taken care of business here. And this is why we'll see at the twist at the end of this episode. I mean, I'll talk about it later, but like, they had to make a change.
Yeah.
It was time.
I think it's getting to that point. Pam, do you like the challenge?
Yeah, I was going to just ask the same thing.
I don't know.
Thank you, Pam. I thought it was boring too.
I was like, what? They're in a ball. Now they're playing. Like, I couldn't quite.
Pam doesn't like when there's too many rules in a game. She just wants it very. I thought I was pretty impressed by, was it like Monty and Alyssa S from the group? Who is in there?
Yes.
Like, the size discrepancy, whatever you want to call it, like that, to be able to, like, he basically was like carrying her through this thing, because he could have run her over, and there's no way for him to run because he's inside a ball. So I was impressed with some of that. I think Corey was in there with Tori. No, that's not possible.
No, it was Tori and
Fessy. So see, there's another size thing. So I thought that was pretty good.
Chanel and Corey.
That was it. I knew Corey was in there. Chanel and Corey were in there together. That's correct.
Right. It's like the girl just needs to curl up in a ball with a helmet and just let the guy run. It's like,
then she's gonna get real dizzy in there.
Yeah.
I mean, it was okay. I mean, I thought it was interesting. The puzzle, you had to have the words going this way, and was it vertically and horizontally? They had to spell a word. That's pretty difficult, I would think.
It reinvigorated me to start doing Wordle again.
Okay, there you go. So you can thank the challenge for that one. Overall, though, I mean, there's a lot of things in this episode that were lackluster to me. This was the first one, and when we get to that elimination, might be the most lackluster elimination I've ever seen on the show. So we'll get to it though. But yeah, I mean, this episode was like,
I like the elimination.
It was so fun. It was so good.
Oh wow, you girls!
I mean, I didn't love
if I was hyped last week, you girls are hyped this week.
I thought it was funny. It was. We'll talk about it.
All right, we'll talk about it when we get to it.
Where they did Michaela good. She literally, I was like, tires are not light, and Michaela on her own, like, tossed a tire at some point, like up a hill. It was like, she is a lot stronger than I would not give her credit for. Like, I know she's strong, but I was like, damn, she literally, like, with 2 hands, like, tossed it like a frisbee.
Yeah.
One of the teams did a conveyor belt method, which I thought was smart. It was the green team.
I think it was the green or the red, where they were like,
but I thought that was a smart idea, because they're running in like, it was like sandy, or was it just dirt? Yeah. Have you ever tried to run in sand before, like on the beach? It's the worst. Your energy gets drained so fast. It's miserable. So do a conveyor belt type deal for that. I thought was a good idea. That's not the right word. I'm trying to think of the right word, but yeah.
Not conveyor belt.
Assembly line
too. Like a sort of, it's a conveyor. We know what you mean. They did. They put them all in a place. They had a strategy.
I would have loved for it to have been closer at the puzzle. I think that they tried to do a good job of editing in the beginning. You know, like, oh, it looks like red could maybe. Oh, could a green maybe? And then blue just ran away with it. So that sucks that there wasn't as much competition during that part. Kind of hate when one team just like really easily wins. So that was the downside.
Tiffany breaks down in front of Alyssa S and Chanel. That happens after this. I don't know why I wrote this, but I wrote that again, I wrote the garden party really has a snake in Tiffany. So Tiffany something
party.
Did she do some more snake-like things? I don't remember because I wrote these notes like 5-6 days ago. I can't think of why, but she did more snake-like stuff apparently in this episode. I felt that she did apparently because I wrote it down for a reason.
Did
I'm
she
not
vote
sure why
for
I wrote
Chanel?
I
don't remember who she voted for this episode,
but it felt no. It was before the votes though. I wrote down that she did something snaky. But she also in this episode, literally, when she breaks down, she literally said she's not good at anything, which she earlier in the season, we had seen that as well. She admitted, like, I'm not good at anything. I don't even know why I'm on this show, et cetera, et cetera. I'm like, well, you're on the show because you were on Big Brother and now you're making more money doing this, but you're kind of right, Tiffany. If you don't think you're good at doing anything, just you can stay home. You don't have to take the money. Like,
and it's like, as a person who doesn't, it's like, why would you want to do those things? Like, as a non-athletic person, it's like, oh my God, I don't want to do this.
Well, I mean, just like anybody
get in a ball and especially if you're not going to win. It's like when the people that are not that good, it's like, if you know you're not going to win, I guess you're paid weekly, but it's like,
that's what
I would not want to put myself through that. But again, there's more shows. It's like Big Brother, you're not doing as sort of intense physical stuff. I feel like Survivor even too. It's like, yeah, maybe this isn't the show for you. Exactly. The challenge. It's like, if you're not good at any of these kinds of things, maybe pick a different, she's more, I loved her on Big Brother.
But a lot of these people are trying to make like reality TV, like, I don't want to say their main job, but like a job that could lead to a branding thing or more social media followers, which could lead to something else. Like, she's not going to say no to this. Jenna, your thoughts on Tiffany doing the show when she literally admits she's not made for this show?
Well, forgive me, I can't remember. Was she on the first season of Challenge USA, or is this her first?
I think so.
Yep.
Okay. Yes. Okay. Well, I mean, listen, who would you rather get paid sitting at your desk doing Excel
that's the point,
or like going to Croatia and doing fun activities, and again, like we've talked about the show, you don't have any outside life. Like you could get upset at anything and just so overwhelmed with your own emotions. Yeah. And if your one thing while you're there is to perform well and you feel as though there's been no games for you to show off your skill set, like she is smart and she's good at certain things, but none of the competitions so far this year have catered to her skill. So like, of course you're going to start to get upset and overwhelmed by that. She just had a very natural emotional moment. But I mean, we haven't, I don't know. I think we need the balance of people who are excellent at games and those who aren't. So I think she's good for TV, but maybe won't come back.
I think she would have been better on the show back in the early 2000s when they could have drank and they can get more fiery at each other and they're allowed to fight a little bit and it's not like the end of the world. I think that's where she could have been really made her mark on the challenge.
Right.
Now that it's more like, okay, there's no drinking, there's no fighting, everyone's going to be kumbaya, but you're going to perform these amazing things. She doesn't add as much to the show as she could personally, I don't think.
Become a little bit more athletic heavy. A lot of the challenges are more physical, even though there's been so many puzzles in the last few seasons. That's very true. It feels like half CrossFit, half puzzles, it's not like they used to always just do silly stuff that was still awesome to watch. And
it was great to watch. Yeah.
Weren't quote unquote, the athletes would always win, you have the people who just work regular jobs winning against the people who run the triathlons, I like that kind of balance. It just not gelling for her this year.
Yeah.
All right.
And I feel for her. I feel like, it'd be like, I don't want to run and swim and why am I doing this? I understand her breakdown, but then it's really hard to kind of feel bad for it's like,
no, I get it. Then probably don't go on the show.
That's the overall point there, right? Yeah. Let's move on to nominations. And we literally talked about this last week, that now that the blue team has the numbers, they can literally put in whoever they want as long as the four of them vote the same. And that's what Wes, Bananas, Tori, and Fessy And there's only 3 other people. So there you go. They got the votes that they wanted. And they got, was Michaela and Tyler. But Tyler had worked out some deal that he was just going to be like a pawn and that they were going to make it, they're going to try their best to make it a girls' elimination or something like that. So
here's the thing though. The part of the edit that we're getting is that you see Team Red and Team Green in the hallway talking about this plan. And those are the losing teams. So we have, and of course they contribute to the anonymous vote. Yes. So they want to help manipulate what's going on with the overall vote. And Josh does have the numbers with the vets on blue. But my whole thought was like, you guys, you've lost. You don't even have the power. Like you have Josh in the hallway being like, we need to get 2 tough survivor girls against each other. And I think we're just missing the conversation that he had with Blue or that Blue had with the other vets. Because my whole thought when I was sitting there was like, sure, but you guys, you didn't even win, so you're making this whole plan and you guys are teams. You don't even have the power. So
I think that Josh literally considers himself a vet and on the blue team. So I think that he's just talking that way. No, in all seriousness, though, like he literally is like, I'm not worried about the vets aren't going to vote me in, at least not yet, because I'm supposedly he's been trying to save the vets all season. So for them to turn on him, I mean, that wouldn't be right. That wouldn't be fair, as Wes has been saying this episode, but. So that's why I think that's where Josh, I think, is coming from.
I think you're right. I feel like we missed the part where blue team gave Josh his orders and then they started shooting and Josh came into the hall saying, okay, this is how it's going to be. Like the blue team just told me they're going to vote for, but you know.
Ladies, I have something to say that it's not a conspiracy, but like at the beginning of the episode when TJ's now, he does like the tonight on the challenge. Like I don't know if they ever did that for the MTV one, but they do it for the CBS one, and they show like, this could happen. And at the end of the episode, I've got a twist for you. And they show TJ, and then they show the green team in their elimination uniforms, and then they show the red team in their elimination uniforms. And I said, wait, so now I know that the blue team had to have won the daily challenge.
Aww.
Right? And then sure enough, obviously blue won. I'm like, what the heck? They literally gave away. Now, I think they don't care because they know blue has so many people and we all just assumed it was not that big of a split. But to say like, and there's going to be and TJ's got something special rolled up his sleeves.
Yeah.
And they show the 2 teams. I'm like, wait a minute, that must mean blue won. And then so anyways, I thought that was interesting. I wrote that down just to say it before. But
that happened.
Okay.
With Tyler being voted as the pawn, I don't think that there's really much he could have done to avoid that situation for himself. Like, what could he have done? Gone around and campaigned for himself?
I think it's smart that he was like, yeah, I'll be the pawn to not cause any trouble. I think it's a great move from a rookie on this show to do that because first of all, they are saying he's going to be safe. And second of all, why not just go along with it? Because you're doing everyone else a favor. Maybe they'll owe you something later if it works out. Plus, he's a rookie. If he goes down there, you should have to go down there. Dude, you've been on the show
you
before.
Could go down there and prove yourself totally. You're not exempt at all. No one is safe from it just because they exist, whether they're a vet or a rookie. But no one can actually save him. There's always going to be
that's what I was going to say. It's so scary because
not all the girls are always going to vote for girls because it makes them vulnerable too. So of course, some girls, I'm sure, are going to vote for guys. So the fact that Josh is, and some of them are making promises like, you're just going to be the pawn and we're going to get everybody to vote for a strong girl and ensure this is a girl's day. I'm like,
I think Tyler knew that
every single person in the house to vote a girl.
But what I think makes Tyler really smart here is he obviously understands that part of the gameplay, but he also realizes no matter what I do right now, they're gonna vote for, like, they're gonna put me in as that other person. So why am I gonna fight and make a big scene in the house and then have everybody on me later? Well, you made a big scene, so we're gonna vote you in for the next one too. Like, I thought it was a really actually good move if he did this on purpose, to just keep his mouth shut and say, yeah, sure, I'll be the pawn. He had no choice. He was going in no matter what, I feel like. So I thought it was a good move.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways. What the heck is next?
I also do find it annoying. Tiffany starts to talk about this in her elimination, which I want to get to that. I don't know. I don't want to speak out of order.
Well, we can do whatever. I mean, the next thing is the arena, I guess. I thought I had one more thing to say about something else, but I'll figure it out later, maybe. Tyler. The only thing is that Tyler and Alyssa S, they do make out at the bar. Do you think that was kind of fun? How we'll save you if Yeah, whatever.
Yeah,
I knew what I was going to say, but now we've kind of moved past the point. But I was going to talk about who was paired up with the blonde that got nailed in the nose. Horacio. Remember, he kept going down there and proving himself, and he became like a fan favorite. So, like, I'm sorry, Tyler, but if you go down there, become a freaking fan favorite, man. And now, Horacio is dating.
Answered it well. I'm not coming at him at all. I was just.
I know you're not. I know
about the gameplay, like in general. That it's. I mean, they're obviously just they can't make a promise to him that they were ensuring that they could keep. You know, they
could try, but
yeah.
You both saw who he's dating in real life now, right?
No.
Oh, you mean Horacio?
Yes.
Oh yeah, Nerys.
Yes. Nerys. Yeah.
That's like they're getting not serious, but like they're all over each other's social medias. Like that's pretty in 2023. That is serious right there.
That's a hot couple. Yeah.
That's a good looking couple for sure.
Good looking couple.
Okay, so we get to the secret voting, and should we go to the arena now and say who had what votes?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
So we know Michaela's going down there for sure because TJ announces it, and now you have Tiffany's got 2 votes, and Chanel had 4 votes. Alyssa S had 1, and then the guys only had 1 for Monty, Corey, and Josh.
Okay.
So, I mean, obviously, didn't we all think it was going to be Chanel? I didn't, though, because Tiffany got way too much play earlier in the game. So I knew that Tiffany probably was involved. And then Tiffany goes off. And you're up, Jenna. You want to talk about it?
Oh, well, I mean, we also know who voted for Tiffany. So we don't see all of the anonymous votes and where they lie. But we saw Michelle voted for Tiffany and Corey voted for Tiffany.
Okay.
And Tyler picked Chanel. That's one of those 4 votes. But I can't remember exactly why Corey voted for Tiffany. Do you
want her off their team? I guess. I mean, like I guess for them, they're not going to get rid of one of the strongest girls on their team. Like the other people's plan was to get rid of 2 Survivor girls, but
they can vote for
your team.
But who's on team? Who's a girl on Team Green besides Michaela? Alyssa. They could have voted for Alyssa S. Technically,
she's Big Brother. If they were trying to target a Survivor, because no Survivor's gone home.
Then there you go. Yeah.
And they ideally wanted to get rid of 2 strong girls
from Survivor, right?
From Survivor, but I think I'm totally.
Jenna, you're smirking over there. What does this mean?
Because I'm also laughing because it makes sense, Pam, if you're saying if they want her gone, because the whole premise of them setting up this elimination was to try to get Michaela out. And I'm sorry, Tiffany herself admits she is not good.
Yes, that's very true.
Yeah. So why are you voting for someone who's going to lose?
But they acknowledged that after, and there were 4 votes for Chanel, who we haven't really seen her compete too much this season, but we assume she's more competitive than Tiff. I mean, everybody really is. So, but yeah, I think Chanel any girl would have given up a better fight. Just she didn't have that swinging motion down at all.
So sitting laughing, kind of like, I think this backfired on you guys. Like whether you were maybe trying to dispel some of like the mystery about the votes, or trying to like shake things up a little bit, get people confused. I don't know if Tiffany was a bird. It makes more sense if they want her off because she's a weaker player on red. So then they did get what they wanted. But in terms of like the veterans, if Corey's supposed to be team vet and vote in Josh's favor and the blue team's favor, and if they're trying to get Michaela out, that shit did not work. Don't vote Tiffany then, But I actually first off, I just love Tiffany's personality. So I like when she goes down and gives her speech, because I feel like it's different than just being all like flustered and trying to like be mad that you got thrown into elimination. Mm-hmm. I like that she's saying like all these guys week after week are going after girls for the girl elimination, because it really is panning out that way.
Right.
I kind of subconsciously realized that, like, I knew week after week, it's been freaking girl elimination. Like, we've seen very few guy eliminations compared to the amount of times we've seen the girl eliminations. Mm-hmm. But until she really like spelled it out, oh yeah, it makes sense. It's all these guys constantly manipulating the voting to make sure the girls go in. So I like
this.
So
I mean,
they don't have to compete.
Whatever.
So they don't have to go in. Yeah.
They don't have to go in. Yeah.
I just think it's again, the producers this season created a game with all these fail safes. All right. they've all these different wrinkles. They said, okay, if it's going the wrong way, we can literally fix the game, where they haven't in the past, and the game just gets worse and worse every episode. And we're like, why did it start off so good and then it sucked? Because they didn't build in enough fail safes. The fail safe they built in for this one is, if a team gets too top heavy with too many good competitors, we'll break them up. Also, if too many of the wrong gender are getting thrown in, where we have a million dudes left and only a couple girls, we can break up these teams. So now what's going to happen, I think, with the breaking up of these teams, they're going to either go back and forth. Guy elimination, girl elimination, guy elimination, girl. They're gonna go back and forth with it, so that doesn't happen. And I guarantee this Thursday, tomorrow, it'll be a guy elimination first. No matter what, they're gonna be like, okay, today's everyone's individuals today for daily challenge, and just so y'all know, it's a guy elimination this week, or maybe they do double, whatever they do, but they're gonna guarantee that a guy goes down there tomorrow night, and one's going home and one's staying, because they can't have the females keep going home like this. In the finals, if there's only 3 girls and 12 dudes, those 3 girls have a 33% chance to get $250,000. Holy hell, that's amazing.
Yeah. I just loved her speech though, and then Josh fires back at her, and she's like, well, "Josh, you're always taking everything so personal."
Yeah.
If you want
to, I didn't call you out.
Did she? Now, when she did she call? I don't remember. Did she just call everybody out, or did she specifically say something to Josh?
Nothing to Josh. She said, "You guys."
He just got fired up.
Josh was like, I didn't even vote for you," and she's like, "Josh, I didn't call you. I didn't mention you, but of course we have to make it about you." Yeah, that was the best.
Hysterical.
It's like, shut up, Josh. I didn't even vote. She's like, I'm not talking to you. Saying the guys in general, obviously, it's like not just you, Josh. Yeah, no, that was really funny. She's like, "You've got so much energy. Come on down."
It's funny because everybody else understood, like, okay, let her say her 2 things. None of it, we won't call her out for this because she's not wrong with what she's saying. But of course, Josh, he acts like he's the only one up there.
Why did you say that to me? Right. Like, no one said anything.
It's so Josh.
So Josh.
Okay. Let's talk about it. It's called Top Heavy. No, what's it called? It's called Top Heavy. Yeah, I think it's called Top Heavy.
That sounds right.
They're on this pendulum thing, and they're going back and forth, and they got to make baskets, and they got to take a ball out and make another basket. Great idea for an elimination, but it's no fun when it's not close. It's no fun. I don't care how cool the elimination is, Jenna. It was not fun to watch.
I thought it was hilarious because
I thought it was funny. The comments.
She knows she's sucking, and she knows she's just trying to get through it, and her aim is so terrible. Like,
so bad.
Actually, it might be hard to be that bad,
Right. Like, the comments made it worth it. Her comment about, she's like, I feel like an elementary school player playing against LeBron was really funny, because it's like, I got one on you. And Tori also was like, I mean, there's times when you just kind of screw up, but like, you should get one. Like, she's like, this is, sometimes people just get crushed, but it's like,
one though. I'm really glad she got one. She put something on the board. I also thought the game was like so sketchy though. That whole little peg that they're standing on, I don't like that. I don't think I would like to be on that.
I think it would have been so much fun. That would be you're just swinging back and forth, you're rocking. I want to see a couple dudes do it. A real big one like Fessy up there, just rock. I mean, they might be afraid he'll break it. Like if you get Fessy versus Monty up there, imagine those 2 Goliaths just rocking these pegs. I mean, I thought that'd been really entertaining.
Yeah, and it's if we're talking about like Tiffany and how she's been playing on the challenge, I felt like this elimination was kind of out of a Big Brother book. It was just a little bit more like goofy, like a Big Brother game than a challenge.
Well, and she still sucked at it. So what does that say?
Yeah,
but was very funny about it.
I get that is the right attitude to have. I get it, but you're having that attitude because you purely suck. Yeah. That's why you had to have that attitude too. Like, let's be real.
And I'm liking everybody, so I don't know really who I would have rather seen go home, but I wish Tiffany was still around for a few more episodes.
See, and that's weird that y'all say that, because didn't she? Why though? Because remember when Amanda went home, you were like, fun. You're like, I'm glad Amanda's gone because she came in, she had her little dog had her big bark, but she kind of sucks at the show. So I'm glad she's gone. But now y'all want Tiffany, who sucks Tiffany more than Amanda, to stay?
At trivia, and she She's not just like a one-trick pony, though. She's like Amanda. It's like, you're a bitch. We get it.
What is her other trick? What's Tiffany's trick besides being politically good at something? Like
clever. And she's fun.
I was interested to see how Tiffany's politics were going to unfold long term.
Yeah.
She does have alliances, but then she also plays for herself, which she should, but sometimes she's a little sketchy with her alliances and doesn't.
Well, see, and I think you girls
I would have liked to see how that would have gone, like if that would have worked for her.
Okay. I could have done without Chanel. Like Chanel.
Well, but that wasn't a plot. Well, I guess.
But where's Tiffany? If we were gonna switch for, I'm just saying, she's bringing something to the show. She has a personality, even though we haven't had an episode all about her.
I think Michaela is really good at politics. I think you all were standing up for her earlier. I think she's a much better person to keep around than Tiffany.
Oh, for sure. Oh yeah, the comparison.
I wouldn't want.
You wanted both of them to somehow stay. That's what we're getting down to.
Well, if that's why I said I don't know who else I would have wanted to see go, but I was looking forward to seeing how Tiffany's politics were going to play in the game, because she's not somebody who is like super easily swayed by the opinions or the strategies of other players. Like, people have been telling her since the first episode who she should vote for, and she hasn't done it.
That's true.
Whatever the hell she wants.
I think the garden party got very lucky with her going home, because I don't know what the hell is her secret garden, snake in the grass. What the hell is the name? It's garden something. It's the secret garden. I think it's called the.
I don't know. We haven't really heard it since episode 1 anyway. So.
But I know. But that is what they have continuously called themselves this whole season.
Okay.
Yep. I'm happy Michaela stayed, because I think she's going to cause some more drama. But you know what? Oh, and one more thing about Chanel, though. Pamela, you had briefly said I'd rather Chanel go home than Tiffany. I feel like we need a Chanel episode to get to know her, and then I think we're going to like her a lot. But we just haven't had the chance to, because unfortunately the way that this challenge works is you're only going to get some FaceTime if you're going into an elimination. So we haven't got to see her yet. I think
haven't.
I think that she could be a really good competitor. Yeah.
Yeah, I like her so far, though, in little snippets that we've seen her when she's been talking to other people.
I liked her when she fought back with someone on her team that time, and it was like, oh, okay, she was like, had a savvy argument. But other than that, I just don't know her.
Was it with her and Josh, maybe? I mean,
it was her. Right? It was not Josh. It was I think it was either Dusty or Chris, or one of those.
Her and Dusty both had really good counterpoints to one another, honestly.
Would you say that her and Dusty had a dust up?
I would.
Great.
Yep. They did.
Anyways, speaking of people that aren't on the show, Dusty. Yes.
Bye, Dusty.
Bye, Dust. The Dustman. Dustarino. All right. Who
do you think Michaela would have defected to if she could have?
Tori. I think she would have gone to Blue and sent Tori to, because didn't she say that?
Oh, that's what she said. You're right.
Yeah, she's like, I'm gonna send Tori packing.
I definitely think she would have gone Blue, and I didn't remember the Tori thing, but then there you go. But I think she was gonna go Blue no matter what. I think that's the safest spot for anybody. Yeah.
I would have, if I were her, sent Cassidy bone just to make the most stacked team for yourself you possibly could.
Oh, then that's true too.
But she wanted to send Tori to.
No, I think it's good to even the score a bit, because Cassidy's Survivor, so she would have been another number to work with Cassidy and switch the way the votes are going, because Fessy, Bananas, Tori all being on the same team is obviously like very vet heavy, and Wes for voting. But it doesn't matter anyway. I mean, like you said, Dan, earlier in the challenge, it obviously set the idea that things need to be switched up, because Blue is just going to be this amazing dominant team. But for Michaela's possible defecting, I probably would have liked to see one more episode of the teams, maybe, just to see how that would have played.
Oh, sure.
I wish they had let her make the move before, because she's like, I have a big decision to make, and TJ, I liked that. It was like, not really. And
that's a great idea, Pam, because that would cause more drama, because then she's showing her true colors. Then you say, oh, by the way, Michaela, we're splitting you up anyways, and then you go, there's a missed opportunity.
Yeah, I do wish they let her choose, so we could have seen.
Jenna, you got to go or something?
No, I just can't believe this light.
Oh, the sun is coming in on you. Well, we're going anyways, because we got stuff to do. We have stuff going on. We'll see you all on Friday, it looks like. I think we're down to one episode a week now, by the way, because we didn't have an episode on Sunday. because of the holiday weekend. I think they're done. I think it's just gonna be Thursday nights now. I do think that. I don't know for sure.
Yeah, because football season's coming. They're not competing with Sunday Night Football.
That's 100% true. There's no way they're on Sunday nights anymore. Right.
Yeah. I don't know.
I'm ready for some football. I cannot wait. I got my 2 fantasy teams this year, not just one. I got 2 this year. Very excited.
I'm very upset because I thought today was an episode for some reason. I was excited to see what happens.
Well, you only got to wait tomorrow. Well, it's funny because they're competing with Thursday night football now, which is interesting. Maybe they should move to Wednesdays, actually. That would be smart for them.
Thursday night's never as good. The matchups aren't.
No, the matchups aren't as good. But if you're into fantasy like I am, like it's a football game is a football game, and they're exciting no matter what.
And it's the first one of the season too. So.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely, and it's the Chiefs and the Lions have some new players. All right. Yes, it's great. You're not washed out at all.
The vision in the sunshine.
Jenna, go down a little bit, see how washed out your face is. Oh yeah, beautiful.
Ooh, ghosty.
All right, we'll see you all in a couple of days for episode 8 of the Challenge USA season 2. Bye, everyone.
Thank you guys.